Excellent. So welcome to our fundamentals practice. The invitation for you guys is to make yourself nice and comfortable on the floor. If it feels good to be in a cross-legged position, I'm using my lovely birthing ball these days for this, but I don't expect you to do the same, but you are welcome to if you have one and you fancy sitting on that for your breath work at the start of the practice. So we'll do a nice bit of breath and then we will move into our movement, and then we'll have our lovely relaxation at the end. So make yourself nice and comfortable, take a nice comfortable seat. So even if you are sitting onto the ground, you might like a cushion or something under your sit bones just to help you get that balance into your pelvis. So I just want you to kind of feel into your pelvis, kind of tilt it forward and back so that when you find that balance place, it becomes easier to identify or kind of feel into that lovely balance. And when you've got that balance, just allowing your shoulders to soften as you lengthen through your spine. So we're not hunching up the shoulders with the lengthening of the spine. We're keeping those shoulders nice and soft, gorgeous long spine, allowing your hands to just gently rest in your lap, wherever they land, maybe down beside you, whatever feels just perfect for you. And if it feels good to just gently close down your eyes, sometimes that can just make it really a lovely internal focused experience. So just beginning to settle in and just starting to notice your breath as it gently journeys in through your nose, traces its way all the way through your body, filling up those lungs. And then exhaling through the nose. And again, just following that track of breath as it leaves your body. Each round of breath, just allowing yourself to settle a little more into your seat. You might like to deepen the breath, allowing your belly to move out as you inhale, so you've made all that space for your lungs to fill. And then gently drawing the belly back in as you exhale. That just helps you to expel that last little drop of air. So we're looking for that lovely full exchange of breath. We're going to take this nice and slowly. Now you can choose to stay in stillness with your breath. Or if you'd like to join me with a bit of movement, we're going to keep that gorgeous depth of the breath and move really, really slowly so that we're really taking advantage of the breath to kind of ease and facilitate the movement. So we'll start with a lovely little gentle opening into your neck. So you can keep the eyes closed, the eyelids closed, but just gently gazing forward with the eyes behind closed eyelids as you take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, keeping the shoulders soft and gently releasing your gaze over your left shoulder, keeping your chin at the same height. So just sensing into that lovely little gentle stretch into the side of the neck. Focusing on your breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. In through the nose. And as you exhale this time, just really gently releasing your gaze back to center, nice and slowly. Nice deep inhale and center. As you exhale, gently, gently, gently releasing that gaze over your right shoulder now. Again, keeping those shoulders nice and soft while you make this movement. Particularly your left shoulder, that will really help you to just gently stretch into the left side of the neck. And just focusing on that breath. Beautiful. Another deep inhale. And as you exhale, gently, gently release your gaze back to center, nice and slowly. Keeping a little length in the back of your neck. As you inhale, gently extend your chin toward the ceiling, opening up your throat. And as you exhale, gently releasing your gaze back through center, keeping a little length in the front of your neck now as you gently release your chin towards your chest, opening up the back of your neck, maybe all the way even into your shoulders. On your next inhale, you're going to gently trace a little semicircle with your nose to draw your right ear toward your right shoulder. So again, we're just taking that lovely stretch into the left side. As you exhale, gently releasing the chin back toward the chest in center. And on your next inhale, tracing the other side, left ear to left shoulder. As you exhale, release back to center, chin to chest. You inhale now, gently extend your gaze back to center. As we inhale, let's draw those shoulders up and just roll out those shoulders. We'll do maybe 3 forward and then 3 back. And gently return to stillness. You take the arms either side of your body. And as you inhale, gently extend your arms toward the sky. Keep those shoulders soft. And as you exhale, keep those sit bones solid as you gently release your right hand in front of you, your left hand behind, as you twist over to the left. Again, focusing in on the breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. It's a lovely, gentle twist. On your next inhale, gently extending your arms back toward the sky, back in center. And as you exhale, twisting to the other side, allowing your right hand to come behind you, your left hand to come in front of you. Focusing in on the breath. You can keep those fingertips on tented fingers to keep that lovely length in your spine. And on the next inhale, gently extending your arms back toward the sky, down through center. Gorgeous. I'm just going to take a little wiggle through the fingers and the toes and really, really softly and gently make our way to a lying position on the mat. So making your body nice and long. Before you lengthen completely, just windscreen wipering those legs side to side with the knees bent up. And then when it feels right for you, allowing yourself to come to stillness. So you might choose to keep your knees bent up and just take your feet mat width and allow your knees to support each other in centers, just so you're not having to kind of be active at all here. It's just all about allowing your breath release and let go. When you've come to that position of stillness, just taking a little scan of your body and noticing if you're in the most comfortable position you can be in. Maybe there's some little adjustment for you to make now to be even more comfortable. Gently draw your awareness to your breath, just gently observing the natural movement of your body with your breath. Allowing yourself, as you inhale, to let that belly button rise toward the ceiling. As you exhale, the gentle release of your belly button back toward your spine. Really focusing on this beautiful exchange of breath. The invitation is to add a count to your breath, allowing yourself to balance inhale and exhale. So in your mind on your next inhale, just noticing what the perfect count is for you tonight. Just staying curious with this practice. So even if it's normally a count of 4 for you, see if it's any different tonight. Maybe it'll be 3, maybe it'll be 5. Just staying really curious with your breath and allowing it to be just exactly as it is. So whatever the count for your inhale, balancing your exhale to that count. And just enjoy your breath. If you wish to add a pause to your breath cycle, you can introduce that on the next round. So allowing yourself a beautiful full inhale, pausing at the top of your inhale, beautiful full exhale, pausing at the bottom of your exhale. And take 3 more full rounds of breath, whichever cycle you're following. Pause or continue. And enjoy each and every one. After the 3rd round of breath, just gently allowing your breath to release back to its most natural and most easeful state. And when it feels right, just gently bringing a little movement to your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet. Keeping your gaze really lovely and soft as you gently blink open your eyes. And on your next inhale, extending your arms over your head and taking a full body stretch, stretching your fingertips away, your toes toward your face. As you exhale, soften back down into the mat. Inhale and lengthen, fingertips away, toes towards your face. Exhale and soften. One last time. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and soften. And gently draw those arms back down either side of your body. Draw up your knees one at a time and draw them in toward your chest for a little cuddle. Allowing yourself to take a little bit of movement if that feels good. So just if you're taking a little movement, just being really mindful of it, noticing the impact of the movement that you make. So if you're going side to side, noticing where in your body you're feeling that movement. Similarly, if you're going in circles or staying exactly still, just noticing. Return to stillness. Take that left foot down to the mat, keeping that knee bent. And we'll take our belts and bring the belts around the ball of the right foot, just below those toes, and gently lengthening that right leg, keeping that lovely softness in the knee, gentle energy to the belt, gentle energy through that heel, allowing your elbows to rest on your mat if your belt is long enough, softening those shoulders in. And if it feels good, you can gently extend that left leg flat to the mat and make a full footprint with that left foot so those toes are pointing toward the ceiling. Enjoy your breath. Let's remember the depth of breath that we built in the beginning of the practice and use that now to facilitate the gorgeous release through the right lower side of our bodies. Spread those toes on the right foot. Again, with each round of breath, just allowing those shoulders to soften right in. One last deep breath here. And then gently draw both sides of your belt into your right hand, holding your left hip, your left leg stable to the mat. Gently release that right leg nice and slowly to the right. Keeping that knee nice and soft, that right knee, gentle energy to the belt through that heel. And keeping that left hip stable, that's where the quality of the opening is. If it's comfortable, you can extend your left arm out from your body. You might have noticed I got a nice new rug for this space. The tiles were just so cold for yoga. So I'm feeling really lovely and toasty here. I hope you are too, wherever you are. Enjoy your breath. On the next breath, we're going to gently inhale the right leg nice and slowly back to center. Take your time, always focusing on that gorgeous, beautiful containment in the movement. Allow yourself to settle in center and then gently pass both sides of the belt to your left hand, keeping that left leg in the exact position that it's in, gently drawing that right foot just 3 to 4 inches across midline in line with your left shoulder, allowing that right femur to descend, soft knee, gentle energy into the belt. And you can extend your right arm from your body if that feels good. And focus on your breath. Last deep breath here. And then nice and slowly inhale that right leg back to center. Again, find that lovely balance in center before you gently bend that right knee in toward your chest, release your belt, and hold on to that right knee. We're going to take just a couple of breaths here with a little stretch into the right side of the low back. And then begin to circle that right foot about 5 times in each direction, allowing any of those gorgeous little cracks or pops of release. And then gently extend that right leg and just sense into that softening, that release that you've created on the right side, knowing that we're going to do it on the left now. So we'll bend up those I was about to say bend up those feet. So bend up the knees, feet flat to the mat, and gently draw your left knee in toward the left side of your chest. Taking your belt and bringing your belt around the ball of the left foot. Gently extending that left leg. We'll keep that left knee lovely and soft. Gentle energy into the belt through that left heel. Spread, spread, spread those toes. Shoulders nice and soft. Allowing your elbows to come to the mat if your belt is long enough. And if all of that feels really good, you can extend that right leg flat to the mat. Make that full footprint so those right toes point toward the ceiling. And just breathe nice and deep, allowing that gorgeous release through the left lower body now. One last deep breath here. And then gently pass both sides of your belt to your left hand, holding your right hip, your right leg stable. Gently release the left leg to the left, again, only as much as is comfortable while that right hip can stay solid to the mat. Make sure you have that lovely softness in your left knee, gentle energy to the belt and through that heel. And if it's comfortable, extend your right arm from your body. And once again, enjoy your breath. One last deep breath here. And then use your next breath to gently inhale that left leg nice and slowly back to center. Allow that lovely settling in center, keeping that right leg solid. We're passing the belt into the right hand now and just gently drawing that left foot just in line with the right shoulder, allowing that left femur to descend toward the mat. Soft knee, gentle energy to the belt. And again, if it's comfortable, you can extend your left arm from your body. Enjoy your breath. One last breath here. And then again on your next round of breath, gently inhaling that left leg, nice and slowly back to center. Allowing that pause and settling in center. As you gently draw that left knee in toward the left side of your chest. Release that belt and hold on to that left knee as we just take a couple of rounds of breath here. Excuse me. And gently beginning to circle that left foot. About 5 times in each direction. And then lengthening that left leg completely flat to the mat. And just sensing into your lovely new legs. Beautiful. Gently move up into our hips now. So bending up those knees, feet flat to the mat, about a hip width apart. And we'll take the right ankle over the left knee. If it's comfortable, drawing that left leg to tabletop position, using your hands or your belt in behind that left thigh. Make those full footprints with your feet so you're keeping those legs nice and active. We want the sit bones, the backs of the shoulders, the back of the head to the mat. And then activate that gorgeous principle of opposing energy that we work with. So gently drawing your left knee towards you and right knee away. Really subtle movement that just opens up that right hip. And as soon as you've activated that, you're just breathing into it, breathing into that space that you're creating in that right hip. And you can choose to stay exactly here with your breath, or if you wish to add just a little dimension of challenge, we can extend that left leg straight, but keeping those sit bones to the mat and continuing to drive that right knee away. Breathe. One last deep breath. And then you're going to gently, gently, gently release that left foot nice and slowly to the mat. Release your right foot and just take a moment or two to appreciate that gorgeous space, allowing that energy, that life force, prana to move into that right hip. Then we'll take the left ankle over the right knee. And again, if it's available to you, drawing that right leg to tabletop position, taking your hands or your belt in behind that right thigh, activating that opposing energy, feet making full footprints, sit bones, shoulders, back of the head to the mat, breathing into this. Again, you can choose to stay exactly here, or if you wish to just challenge yourself a little bit, you can extend that right leg straight. Again, keeping the knee nice and soft, making sure that right sit bone is still driving down toward the ground. You're still gently guiding your left knee away. And you're breathing into that space in your left hip. One last deep breath here. And then gently, gently, gently release that right foot nice and slowly to the mat. Release that left foot and just take a moment to let that energy settle. I'm sure it'd be kind of terrible to be here and not giving out a happy baby. So we'll take just a few breaths in a happy baby before we move on. So drawing your knees towards your chest, but sorry, towards your armpits, so like wider than your chest, bringing your hands in between those legs and taking your fingers to the baby toe edge of your feet, or using your belt. The belt is a brilliant way to kind of give you that extra extension. Soles of the feet toward the ceiling, knees toward the mat. We're looking to aim to get the sit bones kind of, again, gravitating toward the mat. In all likelihood, they probably aren't meeting it. That's cool. Just breathe into it, allowing yourself to just soften in. If it feels good to take a little bit of movement in your happy baby. We rarely see happy babies still in this position. They tend to move around goodo. Gorgeous. We'll take one last deep breath in your happy baby, and then gently, gently release your feet nice and slowly back to the mat. Let's take a moment with the knees bent. Just take a breath or two as you allow that energy to settle. We're going to super gently make our way to hands and knees. Again, taking the time to set yourself up, getting all that stacking and alignment right. You want to have your knees under your hips, your wrists, elbows, shoulders. Now, if you find there's too much weight into your wrists, you can bring your hands forward a little bit. You can take that lovely internal rotation of the forearms to plug those index knuckles in. And you can imagine your fingers are like suction pads suctioning into the mat. That can just take all the pressure away, which is lovely. So we're just going to do our cat and dog flow. So as you inhale, allowing your belly to fill, your heart to open, your gaze to come forward. And as you exhale, gently drawing your belly button toward your spine, your chin toward your chest, as you curl your spine up for a cat. So just moving on your own breath. Inhaling into dog, excuse me, exhaling into cat. So just giving yourself that gorgeous release through the spine, that gorgeous decompression. I've had it mentioned to me that after our practices, you can feel like taller. And that's, like we've, in the way that we kind of sit and work and drive and do all these things, we do end up like compressing our bodies. So when you do these practices, they're just so good to give you space, right? Like that's a lot of what we're looking for in the physical practice. And then the time we spend to center at the start and to really relax at the end are the space that it's the space that we create for our minds, which I would argue is probably even more powerful than what we're doing with our bodies. We'll take 2 more rounds of your cat and dog. Bring that gorgeous length into your spine. And then coming back to neutral. We're going to do our Prowling Tiger. We're all familiar with Prowling Tiger. We'll start with sending that left foot back, those toes to the mat. Activate the inner thigh muscles of the left leg so that you bring that left foot just to hip height. If you have the balance today and it feels good, you can extend your right arm in front of you, thumb toward the ceiling. Just imagine you're energetically hugging everything toward midline. That should give you an extra little bit of balance. And gently release back to center. Do the same on the other side. So gently extending the right foot back, toes to the mat. Engage that inner thigh as you gently lift that right foot to hip height. Again, hug energetically toward midline. And if that's comfortable for you, you can extend that left arm forward. Enjoy your breath and gently release back to center. So we're going to flow on the breath in our Prowling Tiger. So as you inhale, extend through the opposite side. So left foot back, right arm forward. As you exhale, come back to center. And as you inhale, extending through the other side. The right foot back, left arm forward. And just remembering that gorgeous muscle energy that we've created as we move through this flow. So using your breath. Do one last round of your Prowling Tiger through each side, and then come back to your downward facing dog. And take some nice little hip circles. We'll do maybe 3 in each direction. And you can make them as little or large as you like. And come back to center. So we're going to move into our first down dog. Taking ourselves up and back, sit bones up and back, allowing that gorgeous lengthening of the hamstrings, that softening of the spine from the pelvis, soft shoulders. Again, that focus on the index knuckles. Walk your dog nice and gently. And I'm going to be staying in my down dog, but the invitation for you guys, so I'll demonstrate it once, but we're going to do a little bit of flowing through down dog, plank, and up dog. So from your down dog, you inhale, lift those heels and float forward to your plank pose. So pushing that floor away, keeping that tailbone lengthening. As you exhale, allow your pelvis to drop toward the mat, opening up your chest. And as you exhale, drawing yourself up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift those heels, float forward, forward board pose. Exhale, release that pelvis toward the spine as you come into upward facing dog. And from upward facing dog, take a nice deep inhale into your back body. And as you exhale, draw your belly button to your spine as you draw up and back to downward facing dog. So moving on your own breath. I'm going to do this for the next minute or so. So it's just building gorgeous core strength. And again, bringing you that lovely powerful movement that's bringing that gorgeous fluidity too. So there's really beautiful power in the flow. Take one last round. And when you come into your next down dog, stay in your down dog for a breath or two. And then we're going to gently walk those feet one at a time up the mat to come into forward fold. So you're allowing your spine to spill from your pelvis, your head hangs heavy, your arms hang heavy. Just focus on your breath. Inhale to half lift, so you're extending the crown of your head forward. You can bring your palms to your shins to extend. Exhale, fold, plug those feet, zip up those legs, and inhale and root and rise and bring those hands down through center. Gorgeous. So we're going to just do a couple of little salutes. And then we'll do a nice balance sequence. Excuse me. So at the top of your mat, finding that gorgeous Tadasana, nice soft shoulders, lovely neutrality in the spine. Inhale the arms up, gaze to the ceiling, shoulders soft. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold.
Inhale your right foot to the back of the mat. Plug those hands, release that left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale and float forward, forward board pose, plank pose, push the floor away, knees to the mat. As you exhale, forward and down. I won't be coming down to my tummy, but you're coming right down to your tummy. And then with your hands either side of your chest, going to inhale and open up into Cobra Pose. So opening up the heart, gaze forward, throat back, keeping that pelvis into the mat. And then making your way back to downward facing dog. So either coming through hands and knees or coming straight into downward dog. Leading with your right foot, you're going to step or walk to the front of the mat to find yourself in forward fold again. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold. Plug those feet, zip those legs. Inhale and root and rise. And bring those hands down through center. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up, shoulders soft, gaze to the ceiling. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale that left foot to the back of the mat. Allow that pelvis to settle. Plug those hands. Release that right foot back, downward facing dog. Again, we're going to inhale and float the heels as we float forward to forward board pose, plank pose. Knees to the mat if you wish. As you exhale forward and down to love the ground. And again, we'll move into a Cobra Pose. So with the hands either side of the chest, lifting the heart, bringing the throat back, gaze gently forward, Cobra Pose. Keep those legs long and strong. And then make your way back to downward dog, however you prefer. So whether that's coming back to the mat and coming through hands and knees, or whether that's turning over your toes in your Cobra and lifting those sit bones straight up toward the ceiling. Leading with the left foot this time, step or walk to the front of the mat to find yourself in forward fold again. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold. Plug those feet, zip those legs. As we inhale, root and rise and bring those hands down through center. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up, shoulders soft, gaze to the ceiling. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale that right foot to the back of the mat. Keep that pelvis settling. You can bring that right knee to the mat if you wish, or if you can keep it suspended, that's perfect too. As you hug those legs toward midline to come up to high lunge. Bring your hands to your hips, allowing that lovely lengthening of the tailbone, that balance in your pelvis. Inhale the arms up, gaze to the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring the arms down through center. Bring your right hand to the top right of the mat and extend your left hand toward the ceiling in our Revolve Crescent Lunge. Enjoy your breath. And gently release that left hand to the mat. Those hands, release that left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, float those heels, forward board pose. Bring those knees to the mat if you wish. So you exhale forward and down to love the floor. Make your legs long and strong, plug in those insteps. Hands either side of your chest as you inhale into Cobra Pose. Opening up the heart, bringing the gaze forward. Your pelvis is to the mat. Your legs are long and strong. And you're making your way back to downward dog, however feels right for you. So whether that's coming straight back to the mat and coming through hands and knees or turning over those toes. Now we're going to inhale that right foot toward the ceiling for three-legged dog and gently draw that right knee to the left elbow and back into the air. Right knee to the right elbow, back in the air. And then we're going to take the right leg into Pigeon Pose. So drawing the right knee to the right wrist, allowing the calf to cross the body
And gently extending that left leg behind, plugging in that instep. Keeping that lovely length in the tailbone, balance in the pelvis. You can come up onto tented fingers if that feels good. Or if you have a bit of space, you may choose to come into a resting pigeon. And as you exhale, fold forward. Enjoy your breath here. Lovely opening into the hips. Beautiful. One last deep breath into that right hip. And we're going to take our time, if we were low in the pigeon, to come back to our hands. Turn those, I was like, what are those things called? Turn those left toes under. You lift yourself up and back to downward dog. And we'll take any little movement in the down dog that feels really good. Beautiful. And we'll lead with the right foot to step or walk to the front of the mat for a forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold. Plug those feet, zip those legs as we inhale and root and rise. And bring those hands down through center. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up, shoulders soft, gaze to the ceiling. Exhale and fold. Inhale for half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale your left foot to the back of the mat. Again, allow that pelvis to settle. If it's comfortable for you to keep that left knee suspended, that's cool. If you'd like to bring it to the mat, that's perfect too. Hug those legs toward midline to come up to high lunge. Bring your hands to your hips, allowing that lovely settling of the pelvis, that lengthening of the tailbone. Shoulders are nice and soft, focusing on the breath. Your next inhale, inhale the arms toward the sky. And as you exhale, draw your hands down through center. Allow your left hand to come to the top left corner of the mat as you gently release that right hand toward the ceiling in our revolved crescent lunge. Enjoy your breath here. And gently return that right hand to the mat. Draw that right foot back. We're in downward facing dog again. Inhale and float forward. Forward board pose, plank pose, push the floor away. Knees to the mat if you wish. As you exhale forward and down to love the ground. Make your legs long and strong, plugging in those insteps. Hands either side of your chest. As you inhale and lift your heart for Cobra Pose. Take a couple of breaths here, allowing that breath to move beautifully into your back body. Throat back. Beautiful. From your Cobra Pose, making your way back to downward facing dog, however feels perfect for you. Take a couple of breaths here. And as you inhale, draw that left foot toward the ceiling, three-legged dog. Draw that left knee to the right elbow, back into the sky. Left knee to left elbow, back into the sky. Left knee to pigeon pose. So bringing that left knee to your left wrist, allowing that left calf to cross the body, gently drawing that right foot back, plugging in that instep if it's comfortable, keeping that pelvis nice and settled. You can come up again onto tented fingers if that's good. Feel that gorgeous length in your spine. And again, if you have the space and you wish to do so, on your next exhale, folding forward and coming low in your pigeon. just onto your forearms, perfect. And just focus on the breath, gorgeous opening into your left hip. One last deep breath into that left hip. Then again, nice and slowly, if you're low in your pigeon, make your way back to your hands. Turn over the toes of your right foot as you lift yourself up and back to downward facing dog again. Our last downward dog of the evening. So do luxuriate, do enjoy it. And lead with your left leg to gently step or walk to the front of the mat to come to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plug those feet, zip those legs as we inhale and root and rise and bring those hands down through center. Beautiful. Just gonna grab a quick sip of water and we'll go on to our lovely balance sequence. So as you know, I love an L balance sequence, but it was really interesting in my yoga for pregnancy class. Tree has solved one of my students' nausea. She had the first experience of her entire pregnancy, and she's about 18 weeks pregnant, where she didn't vomit because as it was coming, she moved into this balance pose. And it's like, wow, like the power of focusing the mind on something different, as well as building obviously lots of strength into the body. But I was like, that's just amazing to see those benefits, you know? So we're going to do tree pose in her honor. So we'll allow ourselves to just really settle into our Tadasana, have that lovely softness in the shoulders, that length in the spine. And you're going to really plug through your left foot as you take your right toes to the mat. So opening up that right knee out to the right, the sole of the right foot against the left ankle. Remember when we're anchoring through that left leg, keeping that knee nice and soft. And you can draw that right foot to your calf. Depending on how your balance is today, you might bring it a little bit higher, but you want to keep that pelvis settled, whatever position you choose. And take the hands in prayer in front of your heart. And just find something like an ornament or something that you can look at that's stationary. So like if you look at a person, they're gonna wobble. So you're more likely to wobble. So finding that lovely focus point. If it feels comfortable, you can extend your arms over your head and just take a little space as if you're like holding a beach ball, keeping those shoulders soft. And again, focusing in on the breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. One more deep breath here. And then gently draw those hands down through center, release that right foot. Give that left leg a really good shake out. Like that's the one that's done the most work in that position. We'll just allow ourselves to come back to stillness in our Tadasana. Plug through that right foot. Again, keep that lovely right knee nice and soft. Sense into that beautiful strength, that kind of trunk, if you will, of the right leg as you take the left sole of the foot in against the right ankle, left toes pointing to the ground. If you'd like to bring that left leg a little bit higher, you can bring it to your calf. Or if you have a good bit of balance this evening, you can bring it a little bit higher. Ooh, I don't have it on this side, I don't think. Keeping that pelvis nice and settled. That lovely anchoring through the right leg. As you take your hands in prayer to begin. Again, find something stationary that you can keep your gaze on. your drishti. And then if you have it in you, extending those arms over your head and taking a little space between those hands. Keep those shoulders soft. Focus in on the breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. One last deep breath here. And gently take those hands down through center. Draw that left foot down. Again, give that right leg a nice shake out. That has done incredible work there. Since we have done a good bit of hip opening, I'm going to suggest that we give an Owlette flying pigeon a try. If that seems like it might be a bit too much for you today, give your tree another go. But if you'd like to join me, well, in attempting a flying pigeon, we'll come into our Tadasana and keep that lovely neutrality. We'll plug through that left foot. Again, lovely softness in that left knee as we gently take that right ankle over the knee. So it's like just beyond the knee. We'll go this way. And then we're going to just gently sit down into our pigeon. So hands to your heart. Again, allowing that right knee to gently gravitate toward the ground, keeping that length in your tailbone. Enjoy your breath. Plug through that left foot. You gently root and rise. Release that right foot to the mat. Again, give those legs a nice shake out. And we're going to give our pigeon a go on the other side. Or if you're doing tree, we're just moving to the other side. So rooting through that right foot this time. Lovely softness in that right knee as you take your left ankle over your right knee. And when you found that lovely balance, gently sitting down into that pigeon, allowing that left knee gravitate toward the mat, lengthen that tailbone, and bringing those hands in prayer to your heart. Enjoy your breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Beautiful. One more deep breath. Then root through that right foot as you root and rise and release that left foot. Again, give a lovely shake out to those legs. Gorgeous. We're going to make our way down to the mat and we'll do a nice bridge pose and then a nice twist. And we are on the way to Shavasana. So coming down, back flat to the mat, feet slightly wider than hip width apart, plugging those upper arms, back of the shoulders, back of the head to the mat. We can have those palms facing each other. You can let her come into me, babe, if she wants to come in. I can hear her crying. So we're going to plug through the back of the shoulders, back of the head. Most importantly, plug through those feet as you inhale and lift those hips toward the ceiling. Focus in on your breath. See if you can get that breath all the way into your back body. Nice deep breath. One more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, gently release yourself vertebra by vertebra to the mat. Beautiful. Going to take a nice twist now. Just allowing your feet to come to mat width apart. Or if you prefer to do our kind of deeper twist that we have worked on,
If you lengthen your right leg and take your left knee to tabletop, you can gently draw that left knee over to the right. Bring your gaze over your left shoulder and open up your left arm and your gaze over there. That's a little bit too deep for me. So if that feels good for you, wonderful. I know I normally love it, but I don't think the baby loves it too much. So I'm going into a kind of a gentler twist. Just taking my knees to one side and gaze to the other. So you can just decide what works best for you. Just the most important thing being that we're taking a nice little twist to end the practice. On your next inhale, gently, gently drawing everything back to center. If your left leg is in tabletop, allow yourself to come back to center before you extend that left leg. And then again, if you're doing that deeper twist, you're keeping your left leg extended, taking your right leg to tabletop, left hand to the right knee as you twist over to the left, opening up your right arm and bringing your gaze over your right shoulder. But again, that's a little deep for me, so I'm coming out of that, but you obviously stay in it as long as we're twisting normally. Like, it is just so beautiful. Just a little bit deep for me. On your next inhale, gently, gently, gently making your way back to center again. If you had that right leg in tabletop, allowing yourself to come back to center and settle before you extend. And it is time for Shavasana. So grabbing whatever you need, a nice blanket, maybe some socks, whatever is going to make you the most comfortable that you can be. For this most important time of the practice, that gorgeous space to soften through your body. And like we said, create that gorgeous space in your mind. A little bit of peace. Coming to comfort. The traditional Shavasana. Lying nice and long, arms either side of your body, their palms facing inward. Or up toward the sky, gently closing down your eyes. And again, like we did at the start, take a little scan of your body. Notice if there's any little adjustment for you to make first. When you found that comfort and stillness, just allowing yourself to tune into your breath again. In through the nose, gentle rise of your belly. Out through your nose, gentle release of your belly back towards your spine. This time with your breath, the invitation is to begin to bring a little extra focus to your exhale. So just noticing if you can begin to slow that exhale right down. A simple act of lengthening your exhale,
bringing about beautiful, soothing sensation. Your body, your nervous system, your mind, gently navigating to that gorgeous space of rest. And in that space, the most natural, but I'd argue still magical, renewal takes place. Our bodies heal and regenerate. So too do our minds. And we create that space, that environment through the physical practice, engaging the body in delicious movement, and then cultivating that beautiful stillness for peace of mind. And for the next few minutes, gently navigating your awareness around your body. Starting with your right foot, gently journey through all of the muscles on your entire right leg, all the way to the top of your right thigh. Your entire right leg. Soften. Release. Relax. Gently journeying to your left foot. Moving beautifully through all of the muscles of your entire left leg. Your entire left leg. All the way to the top of your thigh. Soften. Release. Relax. Into your pelvis, deeply supported by the ground beneath you. As you allow yourself to soften, release, relax, let go. Through your entire torso now, your tummy muscles, your lower back body, muscles across your chest and the backs of your shoulders. Soften, release, relax. And your right shoulder, journey through your entire right arm now, all the way to the tips of your fingers, your entire right arm. Soften, release, relax. Gently journeying to your left hand now, and bringing your gorgeous awareness through the muscles of your entire left arm, all the way to your shoulder, your entire left arm. Soften, release, relax. Through the muscles of your neck, your jaw, your tongue. Soften, release, relax. muscles around your eyes, forehead, scalp. Every last muscle in your body now. Soften. Release. With every breath, allowing yourself release a little deeper, knowing that all that's left for you to do is enjoy this feeling. With deepening breath, introducing a little movement to fingers and toes, hands and feet, until it feels perfect. To roll over to your right using your hands as a pillow. Pause here for a nice deep breath. And nice and softly support yourself back to a seated position, keeping your eyes gently closed. Drawing your hands together in front of your heart. You bow your head to your own heart, each other's hearts, and the eternal heart. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. Namaste.